Okay, so we need to deal with the thievery and we will end the thievery before this episode is out, and we will improve the Londoners to a double uptick so that we start retaining the Londoners and get that number down towards the end of the episode. But we've just completed our lighter sledges. So we're not going to do the overdrive couplings. Again, this is a bit of a recap from the previous episode. As you know, we're going to go with hunting tactics. So reason for that is that reduces the amount of people in our hunter posts by 5, which will give us, seeing as we've got 3, will give us an additional, or is it 5 that we've got? But it will be additional people. So an angry rant, again, a bit of a recap from the last episode. Let him speak, it's his right. You don't want to interfere with that. Every action that you take here, I've literally explored every action and counter action to see what the best path of decisions is. So most of the decisions I go with are the positive ones. Sometimes I'll go with a negative one just to throw it in as we go along. But we've now got our second coal mine, so we're going to get that manned, get the heaters turned on. And of course we've got the automaton running on the other one. But what we do want is a steam hub between the two coal mines for the automatons to be able to recharge themselves. Now I always do this just for the aesthetics. I'm not entirely sure if it actually makes any kind of difference to the production ratio if they have to walk halfway around your city to get it, but at the same time, I mean, look at that, I can't actually warm both of them unless I put it pretty much right on the coal mines, so we may end up just putting it down there anyway, and that's fine. As long as your coal income is much greater than your expenditure, you're in a good position. So we've unlocked another. So that research is now done, and we've got all the additional workers in our workforce, and we want to carry on with our research, so we're going to go straight for the advanced heaters. Again, the guys came back to our city, so we need to send them out. We're going to send them to the fishing village. The other guys are nearly at the next location. Again, you want to explore the locations as quickly as possible, and over this episode I will keep skipping forwards. So these guys reached the snow cliff, so let's explore. So it's a small chamber, someone lives here, but the lonely human figure we saw from afar has vanished, and we're going to take all of those lovely resources. Now we also have a shrouded cave and freshwater springs. Now freshwater springs, we are going to potentially meet some survivors that we will need to bring back to the city. Of course, our population currently 293. We've got both of our steelworks, only one of them is currently operating, and we've got our 2 coal mines, and we've got our sawmills running, so we've got all of our resources coming in: wood, steel and coal. Now there we go, steam hub has been built, so that is now going to be done. Less of a look, yes, we're still in the green, that's what we want to see, and of course the people that are working in that coal mine will be kept warm by the effects of the steam hub. Now what's interesting here, of course, is a coal mine is underground. So I don't quite get the whole point of needing the heat and everything else, because once you're underground you're not affected as much by the surface temperature. But what we're doing now is we are starting to turn all of these tents into bunkhouses. Now I did mention it on the last episode, and it's why I've built up a large cache of resources so that we can get a large number of the homes upgraded, because these are way more insulated than tents, of course. Because unaffected as a building. And oh look, we've found some survivors, degenerated but alive. Okay, so we're going to have some sick people basically coming back. We've got 22 adults who are all normal adults, and 6 children. So they are on their way back to the city. Again, I will keep skipping forward. So people are supporting the guards. Okay, fantastic. Someone's even bringing them hot food to help them as they're working in the cold. Now that's very nice. Our guard towers are doing their jobs, of course. We couldn't quite run another patrol, but that's fine. Our hope, there we go. Now we can fire it off and we improve our hope. which is what we are trying to do over the course of the next 28 minutes by improving our hope so that we can get rid of the Londoners' desire to leave the city. Now, we've got 19 at the moment. By the end of the episode, I think we'll be down to about 10. And we will, as the series continues, get to the point where, as I said, all Londoners will choose to stay within a new home, which is the ideal scenario. It's where you want to get to. Our food haul there currently is chilly, but that's fine. We are in the middle of the day here, so we may potentially, let's have a look at our consumption. Ooh, borderline. Okay, so our consumption is now borderline. So we have to watch that. Our research for the improved heaters is nearly done, but of course that is going to vastly increase our coal consumption. So again, we now probably are out of balance, but we can balance that out with coal mining optimization, which will give us another 10% boost to our coal production from the coal mines. As you can see, we've got the time remaining on our core, so the tower in the middle, we've got a timer indicating we have 18 hours left of coal, which we do not want. So I'm now building the third coal mine. Ideally, you tend to want to connect it from a point where you can build stuff next to it, but again, the other thing I found with New Home is you've got a lot of extra space. An indignant woman, go with reprimand the guards, which will increase your hope a little bit more. Now, we've got 2 hungry people at the moment. That's not an issue. We've got 205 food, so again, not a problem. Let's delete some of that path. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in another hunter's hut. So that has been built. Just need to wait, because at the moment we've still got 68 people that we're not using. But you tend to find in a new home that as you progress through the game, you will have an ever increasing number of people who don't have jobs, because you quite simply, if you're using automatons and you've got all 3 of your coal mines and both your steel works populated by automatons, then you're not really going to need many human beings, which of course a lot of them will be able to bum around in the city without having to work. I'm guessing for Frostpunk 2 that's going to become the political class. Okay, right, so going back to purpose, what we do want is foreman. Now, the reason you want foreman is foreman works with a building that is currently controlled by an automaton, which, again, I think is brilliant. Might have been a slight oversight on the game developer's thing, but we click foreman. For 24 hours, that place is going to produce more coal. Now, we're still a little bit in the negative, but our third coal mine should be ready soon, as well as our coal mining optimization. So I've skipped forwards. And our sawmill is still doing okay. That's good. That's run out of resources, so that can go. We can get that gathering post destroyed. And again, resource wise, we want to get another sawmill and build it closer. So that sawmill has run out of trees chopped down, so we're going to put this one here, destroy that one, and then put in the new one. If you remember, we built that extra piece of path in the previous episode. So again, most of our houses are now upgraded to bunkhouses. We are burning a very slightly more than we are bringing in. That's fine. We are ready for our next piece of research. So as you can see on the level 3 scale, we've got a few things, but what we can do is build a steam coal thumper, which can support up to 4 gathering posts to further increase the amount of coal that we are producing. Okay, we want to get people in here as well. Let's turn the heaters on, and we can use our normal folk rather than our engineers. And again, that's now populated. We've got 18 hours of coal left. That is slowly ticking down, but again, we will get that resolved back up to 18. And these guys have reached the location, so leave the village intact or take the huts for wood. Now, this is a decision up to you. I actually left it intact, but really with retrospect, I probably should have just demolished it because I didn't use it for getting food. So I didn't put in the hub that sends people there to collect the resources. So our guys have just come back with the extra people. We've already built the homes for them. So that's fine, and we need to send them back out into Frostlands. So let's go for the Frozen Grove, because that is a load of wood, I can tell you that now. And again, want to go back to people and continue building our bunkhouses. Because of all the resources our scouts have brought back, we can now build all of the homes into bunkhouses. So we've got 61 people homeless, we've got 2 sick, 1 awaiting treatment, so we're in a relatively good position. Again, our research, again, it is the end of the day, so again, speed up time. We're in the middle of the night at the moment. So all the homes are being built. I tend to do them in chunks, so we don't throw 200 people out onto the streets. And let's have a look, gathering post wise, let's put, oh, that's going to be a bit on a, why is it doing that? Okay, let's put that over. You have to put the path down first, otherwise it will put it in an odd position. Now we could put 2 here, so we can put 1 and then another, and that will be 4 gathering posts. So there we go. They're all connected to path, and what we want to do is upgrade this to a steam hub, which steam coal thumper, which we've already done. I've kind of skipped past it, but that's fine. On saying that, that looks like a normal coal thumper. I don't think I've actually upgraded it yet. So Tesla City, again, this is another one where you want to save the game, because you could potentially lose your scout squad. This time the random number generator was generous to me, and now we can establish a outpost here for steam cores, which is probably, out of all the places you can establish outposts, Tesla City is your best option, because you want as many steam cores as you can possibly get. We're now signing for Fighting Arena, and the reason that is another hope boost. So we want to get that put in. Doesn't really matter where it goes, just have it next to a bunch of people. It can be in the cold as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be under a steam hub. We're going to try and put in a couple, but we don't really have any other place where we could put it in for houses unless we demolish a house and then put in the fighting arena. So I think we'll leave that as is for now. Yeah. Oh no, we could potentially put it there. That is a gap. But I think we'll put the pub there later, because that's just the right size for the pub, and it's right near the centre of the city. So we're running our patrol again. Our hope is now above the letter E, which is what you're looking for. And now, as you can see, the tendency is still neutral, so we haven't actually yet got to the point where we're losing people that want to leave, but we've now built the fighting arena, and there we go. Steam Coal Thumper researched. I was right, we hadn't built it yet. So that's it. I was just building the gathering posts ahead of time. We can now have our 4 working, and we've got a nice little thing for the watchdogs. So that was a little child bringing a toy to say thank you to the guards. And as you can see, as hope gets higher, you have more and more positive outcomes. So we've now got our steam coal thumper, which is going to produce a lot of coal. You could even bash the foreman button if you want to further enhance it, but we should now be in a relatively good position. So we've got our 3 coal mines running, and we've got our coal thumper, our steam coal thumper, that is surrounded by 4 gathering posts. Now, next thing we want is the mechanical calculators. So we've upgraded our research 1 more level, because as you play through this, you want to pick and choose your research, because you can't do everything. It's quite impossible. Well, it's not impossible. You can, if you're committed, you can. But again, for the playthrough, it doesn't really matter. And actually, towards the end game of this, I can show you that you don't have to be perfect, and it's one of the reasons that I've done the playthrough the way I have. So we've taken the stuff from Dreadnought Landing. We've got Ice Corridor or Research Station. We'll go to the Ice Corridor first, and then to the Research Station. Okay, our city is looking good. We've got our coal mine, and that's it. It's now populated with people. Let's have a quick look. We are now producing way more coal than we need, which is where you want to be. And we want to put a steam hub near to the coal mine, and then we can build houses around it later if we need to. And what we're going to want to do is get automatons. So that is the next thing. We've got 7 steam cores at the moment. We want more, obviously, but again, we'll do 8 till 6 at the moment for the steam hub, so it's only there for working hours, so we can deal with temperature drops, and everything else is looking relatively good. Right, okay, what's this? Food theft. Send the guards to catch them. Okay, so some food has been stolen. The guard succeeded. So again, this is an RND as well. If you really want, you can save it and save it and save it. I tend not to. You sometimes have a negative outcome. As I said, you sometimes have a positive outcome. A lot of the times you'll find that the thieves will get away, but eventually you will be able to deal with it. Now obviously we've got some people coming back to the city, so we do want to build the extra homes. So 30 I think should be enough. We'll upgrade all of these to bunkhouses as well. Nope, we're out of resources, so most of the buildings have been upgraded. We've still got a couple to go. First Londoners convinced to stay. There we go. So we're from 19 down to 18. It was literally one person. Okay, again, run your patrol as soon as you're able to. We've reached here, so Icebound Dreadnought. Again, we've skipped a location. That's fine. It didn't really tell us about anything. And you can get steel from the Icebound Dreadnought. And again, it's not worth it, personally. That's my opinion, though. You may choose to. It's entirely up to you. What we want to do now is start focusing on the generator, the efficiency, and everything else, so that we can keep our city nice and cozy and warm and efficient at the same time. So again, the research is underway, and we want to build the remaining bunkhouses. So we've got 3, and that is it. So now we have everyone in a bunkhouse, which is a bit better. Our scouts have reached the next location, the ruined warehouse. So we're going to take the resources, and we've found some snow-covered supplies and a pile of stones, I think it was. That location's never worth visiting because it doesn't uncover any new locations, and it's basically a wasted trip. Okay, so we want to do another law, so we're going to do the public house. That's right, the pub. Now remember I said earlier, that gap is perfect for the pub. Now I just have to remember that it's there. That was the thing, I left it there for that reason, and you can see it there. It's covered in snow, so much so that it actually looks like a building. So I was thinking, oh right, okay, shall I put it on the outside? Oh look, it fits perfectly in there. And there you have it, the pub has been built. Oh, you can't have a city without a pub. Well, I'm British, so pubs are synonymous with the United Kingdom. Okay, so the pub is complete. All we need to do is man it, and again, hope rises. So we'll turn the heaters on in there. Got to have a nice cozy pub. You cannot have a pub that isn't cozy. Right, precious supplies. We've found some raw food. Fantastic. So that stone ship, again, not worth going to. There is another wrecked vehicle. No, we forgot about that. That is definitely worth visiting. So we'll change their direction and get them to go to the wrecked vehicle. Okay, another notification. We've had another theft. Send the guards to catch them. And again, let's see what happens. Guards failed. Okay. Caught in the act. Let him go, but we'll prepare a place for him soon. You can banish him. Our people will decide his fate. So the best thing to do is let him go. But we only have 3 days to build a prison, and as you can see, we've just done a law. That's fine. You just have to remember, as soon as your next law is available, you need to do the prison law, and then you need to build the prison. So let's take the resources from the hidden supplies. Again, ignore the stone ship and go down to the research station. Okay, we've got quite a lot of stuff on us. That's good. Again, just keep skipping forward. So heater efficiency has been researched. Fantastic. Next one you want to do, it's entirely up to you. Again, you can have outpost depot, but you've also got efficient gathering is a good one, but at the moment it requires quite a lot of resources. So let's go with factory, because at the end of the day, factory is what's going to allow us to build automatons, and we do want to be building automatons. We are producing an enormous amount of coal now, which is good. And we've built up plenty of storage as well, although we will need to put more storage in. You can see there's a double temperature dip coming up as well. So here we go, buried shame. Dun, dun, dun. I'm skipping past a lot of this because you guys can read it when you play. Next thing to do, go to the shrouded cave, and again, there we go, back to the city. Skip forwards again. We've now researched factory. Okay, so what we want to do is, of course, build a factory, but we also want to do more research. So what research do you want to do? Now, sometimes before you build your first automaton, it is worth researching some of the components of the automaton. But I think the next thing we should probably aim for, because you do want it, is a steam coal mine. Okay, so again, another piece of research done. Generator power upgrade 2 as well, because we do have that double temperature drop coming up. But again, at the moment, and the overdrive couplings as well are important. In fact, it might be worth aborting that to focus on a generator improvement. Yeah. Yep, let's start the overdrive couplings, because the overdrive couplings allow you to increase the heat level by 2 when you're kicking off the overdrive, and that does get you out of a pickle when the temperature drops. Okay, again, we're ready for our next law. So we want prison, of course. It's before, you can see it's red, but let's build the prison. Actually, no, it's not, it's white. We've got plenty of time. So we'll build the prison next to the coal mine. It's probably the best place for it. And again, we'll skip forwards till it's actually constructed. So there we go. Prison's ready. Turn on the heaters and we'll man it with, what do we do? Just give it one person. There we go. Don't need to fully man it, really. Maybe put, let's go with 5. Yeah, maybe 5 engineers as well. That gets it fully manned. I mean, at the end of the day, we've still got 25 people that we can use. We'll turn the steam hub onto 24 hours. We're still very green for our coal production, so everything there is nice and good. Again, speed up time. We're in a night at the moment, so nothing much is going on. Oh, we've got another thing, policing the streets. So these are, because we've got the pub, let them sober up. Again, as you can see, our hope is now even higher. So we will get more Londoners deciding to remain. As you can see, there are 15 now. So we've gone down from 19 to 15. All blue decisions, so no red negative. And again, here we go, another theft. Send the guards to catch them. And see what happens. Guard succeeded. There we go, fantastic. The guard succeeded in catching the guy. And one of our people have died. Oh dear. Murdered on duty. One of our guardsmen was beaten to death whilst chasing the Londoners. We caught one of the thieves, but he's not the murderer. What should we do with him? Lock him up. So send him to prison. They killed him just for doing his job. We should show no mercy. I hope this is enough to prevent further. Indeed. Right, we've also just reached another location. Oh, this is the saddest one. There's a poor little bunch of kids who are all trying to survive in the mountains. So when their food ran low, the Guardians went back for more and didn't return. It seems the kids were evacuated in time before the city fell to chaos. So we're bringing 34 children back to the city. Now, of course, that means we need more child shelters. Okay, so the overdrive couplings have now been researched, so we're going to go for the generator power upgrade 2, which will again lift the heat level. And we're producing plenty of coal, so it's not going to cause us a income expenditure issue. Our hope is now very high. Everything is currently warm and toasty, which is good. The guys have reached the next location, so let's explore. The last discovery. We find Tesla's audio diary. A voice speaks. Blah, blah, blah. 2 steam cores, 58 steel, and a bunch more resources. And now a cave hideout. Okay. Right, another notification. Exemplary behaviour from the foreman. Fantastic. Keep up the good work. Another little hope boost. As you can see, we've now got 11 Londoners remain, so we're getting there. We are getting there indeed. Okay, we're going to need some more bunkhouses, of course, so let's get them built. Yep, I think that was still covered by the steam hub, so we should be good there. Let's just put in an extra bit of path. We've got plenty of wood at the moment, so no biggie. And again, connect down, skip forwards. Next piece of research is done. So generator power upgrade 2 researched, and we're still green. That's what we want to see. Okay, exploration and industry, do we want? Let's have a look. All that faster gathering that we never got, or the steam coal mine, but of course at the moment we don't have enough steel, so we could improve our resource depots so they store even more resources, because we have nearly 3,500 coal, which is, as I said, good position to be in. Everything's nice and warm now that we've leveled up. We could actually turn the heater on for that one, and I think the other gathering post hasn't got it turned on either. Yep, so we'll turn that on as well. There we go, so they're comfortable. Scouts have reached the next location. A few tired men. So what we want to do is we want to talk to them. Nothing like small talk. Seeing that we have no ill intentions, the American told us how they dealt justice to the inventor after expelling him from the city. So they bury Tesla's battered body and escort the survivors back to the city. Now, of course, there are a couple of extra locations we're going to want to visit, but that's fine. And here we go. Look at that big hope boost. The end of thievery. That's it. We've dealt the ending blow to thievery. So, hope is almost at maximum. We've got a triple down tick for the tendency. So that number is going to start rapidly falling. Now we are more than halfway through the time we have to bring the Londoners down to 0, but that triple down, as long as you get it just under 50% and you have it positive more than halfway through, you will get to a position where you will have no Londoners. So we're just building another little resource depot. Connect that up with some path and put path behind, so we could put in another row of warehouses if we need to. Okay, now I think at the moment our wood is full, everything is full because of all the resources being brought back. So what we want to do is we want to send our scouts that have arrived back out into the frozen wastes to visit those remaining locations. Our population is now up to 355. Again, we're good. We're down to 2,700 coal though, when we did have 3,500. And we've just had the double temperature drop. Okay, so now everything is cold. But that's fine, because the important thing is the homes are still relatively warm. Now what we don't have is heat for our cookhouse. So the cookhouse, we may need to build a steam hub. That's fine. We'll get that put in. It's going to warm up the food huts as well, but that doesn't really matter. You want to ensure that your cookhouse isn't frozen, of course, otherwise, there we go, look at that, boom, it's now comfortable again. Fantastic. Now we do have a double temperature lift in the next few days, but for now, as the resource depot upgrade happens, I think that is getting us to the end of this episode. I do hope you're enjoying this playthrough and guide and how to. And if you haven't been successful before in completing the campaign, then I do hope this helps you get to the end with a more successful or as successful playthrough. Again, we can finally do the steam coal mine, but we can also do other things as well. So we've got infirmary, healthcare insulation, cookhouse insulation, but we also have houses. So the next level is for other stuff as well. But for today, all it leaves me to say is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and from me, know-it-all, good gaming, good night. See you on the next episode as we research the Steam Steelworks. Till then, see you later.